Hello and welcome to IBM TV. Today I'm joined by McGonigal, Head of Operations and Customer Success at Forscene. Max, welcome to IBM TV.
Hi Ben, thanks.
Can you start by telling us about Forscene?
Well, Forscene's been around for 16 years now. We started by Stephen Streeter, who's the founder, still head of R&D. He was one of the founding members of Eidos Entertainment of the Tomb Raider dynasty. But video streaming technology is his bag, and he started the company up at that time. It's floated, it's got a large shareholder pool, and it's leaders in cloud-based editing. And
so you're mainly on the cloud-based editing. How is it different editing on a cloud? People find it quite a strange concept, not doing it in a post facility, but how's it different?
Well, there's two answers to that. It's not different at all, and it is very different. When I say it's not different at all, it's exactly the same as if you're editing in a post house. There's no latency. You're editing as if you had your media on a local storage or on an expensive storage device. You're able to sync, pull, review, log, create edits, export EDLs, exactly the way you would do in a post house or in a in-house facility. The big difference is the speed in which you can edit. You can edit immediately. You don't need to wait to get back to your chosen facility to start editing. You could ingest the media on location as you're backing up. The media is transcoded to a lightweight proxy format, goes up to the cloud, and your production team, both on location, in the office, wherever, can start the editing process.
So what are some of the challenges people might think that would come with editing on the cloud? What are the requirements that users have to be able to do this?
Well, in all honesty, you don't really need to do much at all. You don't need an expensive editing infrastructure. All you need is a license, the ability to be able to ingest your media, and a connection to a broadband network.
So, are we talking? It has to be fibre, or can you do it on a fairly
you can
internet?
You can upload and download via a cellular network. Okay. If you've got a 3 or 4G connection, you can tether your smartphone to your laptop, and you can start editing. Wow. It's as simple as that. You don't. Geographically, you can be anywhere. You could have team members in London, Toronto, wherever they're located. They could all be editing collaboratively in the same project simultaneously.
Okay, that must make it, because I suppose people would initially think they'd have to have an amazing broadband connection, but that sounds amazing if you can do it.
Honestly, it's extremely easy to use. It's intuitive as well. I think most people think there was preconceptions about cloud editing. But those preconceptions of, that it was difficult, that you needed a lot of hardware to be able to transcode media, push it up. How do I access it? Is it safe? Security is a big one. Yeah. Forscene, it's a proprietary codec. We've been working on it for 16 years. We're in version 9 now. The data can't be taken and read on any other format apart from Forscene. It's bank technology security, secure. I think the biggest problem for modern production at this time is the shooting ratios. If you're in a factual entertainment production, reality shows, you're shooting hours and hours of media. Your shooting ratio might be 100 to 1. You just simply don't have the time to watch every minute of that media back. And with Forscene, you don't have to do that. You could be transcoding that media as you're backing up on location. And then your production team can be pre-selecting the media that they then ingest at their chosen facility. It's honestly saving time and money, because you're not paying for expensive nearline high-resolution storage in your facility. You're pre-selecting media to ingest for your finished edit. And you could, if you're brave enough, really do all of your collaborative editorial decision-making within Forscene. I think there's a lot of people that are starting to wise up to that now. You don't necessarily have to have an edit and an editor and an edit producer tied to a suite in a facility now. You could have your edit producer working at home, you could have your editor working at home some of the time, or in the office, or a combination of both, and at the facility. You want to keep your post-production workflow running efficiently, and ideally you want to improve on the time that you spend in an expensive suite. And if you can actually do a lot of that editing, a lot of that editorial decision making in Forscene, and then commit to an EDL, export an AAF or an XML, and do your finishing on Adobe Premiere, Avid, DaVinci, Final Cut Pro. You're only using that expensive suite when it's needed. Yeah. So I think for a lot of reasons, I think editorial teams are getting wise to cloud editing now and the possibilities with it and the collaborative flexibility it offers.
So you've touched on it there, but what are some of the other ways that it can save a user both time and money?
Well, if you can stick to an offline schedule, or you can actually trim it by a week or two, you're literally saving hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. If you're able to pre-select how much media you're putting onto an ISIS or an Interplay or whatever you happen to be using as your expensive high-end storage, you're not going to be paying 200, 300 pounds per week in storage costs. You might only be paying 100. So those are the efficiencies that it can offer, time and money. However, I think the biggest benefit for a lot of customers, and we're doing a lot of work in sports now, is the revenue potential it can offer. You're able to take a live feed directly into Forscene. If you're at a football game, a basketball game, a boxing tournament, you're able to take a live feed from an OB truck or from an IP or HLS stream. You're able to edit 15 seconds behind real time. You can create highlights packages, push them to social media streams, which are usually sponsored or have ad sales revenue opportunities, and it drives viewer engagement. Someone outside the stadium, somebody outside using their smartphone has just seen a score, they want to know what's going on, that game's still happening, and they're driven to the OTT or broadcast service to watch the rest of the game. So it has a real revenue opportunity. It's not just about saving money.
So it sounds like it's easy to use, it's got, saves you time, saves you money, so
absolutely.
It really does sound like a great product, man. So,
thank you.
Thank you for coming in and talking to us.
Thanks very much.
You can find out more at forscene.com.